And we are live for another Totally Biased Media Twitch stream. Welcome back.
Hello.
To the Year of the Gear.
It's happening. We are like 3/4 of the way through Metal Gear Solid. So let's finish this one strong and hope that we don't have technical issues for the 4th stream in a row.
Oh, Jackson, this is perfect.
I think the more the better.
We got a mission log. Stop the launch of the new type of nuclear warhead. Snake rushes to the underground maintenance base. However, Vulcan Raven is waiting for him. Snake defeats Raven, and while he's dying, he tells Snake that the DARPA chief who died in front of Snake was actually Foxhound member Decoy Octopus in disguise.
Those are such
Snake,
good names.
who has been told by Master Miller that Naomi is lying about her identity, is confused and filled with doubt, but all he can do now is try to stop the launch.
That was great for a sound check. Sound is good.
Here, if you'd like, we can verify that... Oh, actually... I assumed that Vulcan Raven's body would still be here. But I guess as soon as we left the room, it disappeared.
So y'all have went over it a little, but like, what exactly did go down in the stream of this that I miss?
So we fought Liquid Snake in his helicopter, his Hind D. We used a Stinger missile launcher to take him down, and before that, we rappelled down a building. That was exciting, except the controls are even worse on the GameCube version than they are on the PS1 version.
Of course they are.
That's really... Oh, we fought Sniper Wolf again. And when we defeated Sniper Wolf, not Ocelot. I keep saying Ocelot. Otacon was really sad about it, because he was in love with Sniper Wolf.
Yeah, that tracks.
Hard being a pro. Half grenades, my old friends. I don't know exactly where we're going right now. I mean, I know story-wise we're headed for Metal Gear Rex's hangar, but I don't necessarily remember this map very well. Oh, never mind. We're here.
Easy.
Whoa, check out that robot. It would never be named Rex.
Oh, buddy.
Because I am very lazy, and I did say I wanted to finish the stream today, I am going to take advantage of the shortcut. There's supposed to be a lengthy backtracking sequence, but instead there are some pipes that you can...
Nice.
Snake, it's me. What's wrong? Did you find a good place to hide?
Yeah, thanks to the stealth gear. It looks like they've finished getting Metal Gear ready.
How do you know that?
I overheard them talking. Where are you now?
Right in front of Metal Gear. But it's strange.
What is?
There's nobody here. No guards, no mechanics. It's too quiet.
Maybe because they're all ready. They said they even input the PAL codes.
What should I do?
All we can do
I
is
love
use
PAL's
the override
favorite
system that
restaurant.
President Baker told you about.
But I've only got one of the 3 keys. And besides that, like Ocelot said,
I actually...
there's some trick
We
to
might
this
finish
key.
this stream
Leave it to me.
You got some kind of plan.
in normal time or earlier
I'm in
than
the computer
expected.
room right
Now that I think about
I'm
it,
trying to access
we're
the
closer to the
computer
end than I
files.
was thinking.
Baker's files. Don't you need a password?
Of course. But There are ways.
Are you a hacker?
There are
Yep.
ways.
That describes me pretty well.
Does it
Are
look
you
like
a
you can get
hacker?
in?
I don't know yet. I'll give it a try.
I'm counting on you.
You know, in my first playthrough of this game, I got caught a lot more because it was my first playthrough. I never realized how useful the chaff grenades are.
I mean, you threw like 1,000 of them on the last
Snake,
stream.
It's me
Or the
Oh,
again.
stream
yeah.
before, whichever one it was.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
Jackson, you did
I
miss
just
the
got past
27
third
flights of
security
stairs,
level. He was
followed
pretty
by
Oh no.
17 flights of stairs, followed by another 20, or no, another 17 flights of stairs.
Okay. Keep
Oh
trying.
man. I can't believe I missed out on that.
I know, it's the most exciting part of the game.
He also threw a bunch of grenades while he was going up and down the stairs. You also missed that.
Was
I
it
forgot the
was
button.
it better than the ladder in 3 though?
Nah.
No, because it didn't play a fun song.
They just play the Snake Eater theme during that, right?
Yeah, but it's like a quiet rendition. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
No spoilers. uh,
I love when you get to a room and you just get a
did it.
phone call
You
every
got
10
past
seconds.
security?
Bingo.
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
Haven't found it yet.
That's what I need to know.
But Snake, I found something else.
What?
The secret behind the new nuclear weapon. Just as I thought, the nuclear warhead is designed to be fired from the railgun like a projectile. It doesn't use fuel, so it isn't considered a missile. That way it can get around all sorts of international treaties.
Pretty sneaky.
Yes, but effective. And that's not even the scariest thing about this weapon.
I can't wait
Oh.
to hear this.
I love the implication that Salt 2 only mentions nuclear missiles, and it's like any other nuclear weapon is
Yeah.
fine.
The truth is, they've been working on a stealth missile since the late 70s.
Why weren't they able to develop one up until now?
Because of the missile's rocket propulsion system. It would be picked up by enemy satellites.
Because of that?
But unlike a missile, the railgun doesn't burn any propellant, so it can't be detected by any current ballistic missile detection systems.
An invisible nuclear warhead.
Totally impossible to intercept. And on top of that, it's got a surface-piercing warhead designed to penetrate hardened underground bases.
We learned that lesson in the Gulf War.
This thing could mean the end of the world.
It's the ultimate weapon. And from a political point of view,
every time he
avoids
talks,
the
it sounds like
problem of
he's
nuclear
saying the words
production
for the
and
first
nuclear
time.
inspections.
Like he's
Colonel,
never
is
heard
this
most of the
true?
words he is
Are you
saying.
listening?
You mean Otacon?
It would push
Yeah.
back the signing of the START 3 treaty.
I think he just gets it.
If word gets out about this weapon, it'd cause a whole world of trouble.
Yeah, it would be nasty. The United States would be denounced by the UN. It could even bring the president down.
Did you know this,
President.
Colonel?
The
Oh
president.
no!
You've changed, Colonel.
I won't make any excuses.
Snake, listen to me. This new nuclear weapon, it's never actually been tested, only simulated.
You mean with VR experiments?
Yeah, that's why they were conducting this exercise.
I love the
Needed
way
to
they
get
talk about
actual
VR in Metal
experimental
Gear.
data to back up the simulation.
What were the results of the exercise?
It's wild how they got
Looks like it went
everything
better
right
than they
about the
hoped for.
future.
But I can't find the data anywhere on this network. You'd think the data is
Wait till we get
important
to
enough be
Metal Gear
carefully
Solid 2.
recorded.
VR becomes way more
President
important
Baker
and
gave
way
you
more
documents with all
incomprehensible.
of the test data.
What? Do you still have it?
No, Ocelot took it from me.
Damn.
The terrorists have replaced the dummy warhead with a real warhead. Once they input the detonation codes, they should be ready to launch.
So, you think they can do it?
Well, the dummy warhead was designed to be identical to the real thing, so I think so.
Did you find out how to override it yet?
Not yet. It must be in a separate file. Right now I'm looking through all of Baker's personal files.
We're counting on you.
Sure hope I don't get another phone call in the next moment.
I mean, why would they waste your time calling you? You're on an important top secret mission.
Snake.
Did you find it?
No, I haven't found out about the override system yet, but I found Baker's ulterior
I feel like
motive.
Otacon should have just stayed on the phone.
Isn't he?
That's part
Yeah.
of it. Arms Tech is in much worse financial trouble than I thought.
I know they lost their bid to make the next generation fighter jet. That, plus the reduction in SDI spending.
It looks like there was even some talk of a hostile takeover.
Everything was riding on this project, I guess.
And it looks like they were paying a lot of bribe money to the DARPA chief.
Bribe money, huh?
Yeah, and Baker was a big proponent of the nuclear deterrent theory.
I see. So anyway, what about the override?
Just give me a little bit longer.
That was him trying to shoot Otacon for being annoyed with him.
I don't understand why they decided that the buttons to open the codec and the button to shoot were sorry, got distracted. I don't know why they decided to make those the same button.
We can launch anytime.
There's still no response from Washington. It looks like we'll have to show them that we mean business.
Oh, Jackson, you did miss out
Getting a
on
little
an
stuttery for me.
No,
Jackson, is it the same for
There's
you?
been a change. The new target is Lopnor, China.
Jackson?
Why,
Oh,
boss?
sorry. I somehow accidentally muted my mic. No, it looks fine to me.
Okay.
Yeah, if it does get stuttery, it's
I'm sure
I have zero
Mr.
drop frames so
Galukovich
far,
would
so
really like to see a
shouldn't
nuclear
be on
bomb
my end.
dropped on your motherland, right?
Okay.
But why? There's nothing there.
Wrong. It's a nuclear test site.
A nuclear test site.
If we nuke a major population center, the game's over. But a nuclear explosion at a test site can still be concealed from the public. Meanwhile, Washington will be worried about the retaliatory strike from China.
That'll probably mean top secret talks between both countries' leaders.
Of course. And in the process, the president will be forced to divulge the existence of a new and highly destabilizing nuclear weapon to the Chinese. What do you think that will do to the US's reputation? Or the president's?
And with the CTBT, that means that China and India... I see.
Yes. When the other countries hear about the new weapon, they'll all want to contact us. Washington won't be very happy when we start selling their own system to the highest bidders. Yes, the president
Jackson,
will break.
based on
He won't
Ocelot's
give in to
outfit
our
and his
demands.
accent and all that, where do you think he's from?
Boss's DNA and $1 billion.
Czech
$1
Republic.
billion.
Close, he's
All for
Russian.
Money.
That money will be used to cure our genome soldiers as well.
I'm gonna say
I'm
no.
also
No, he's
including the
Russian.
fox dye vaccine
No,
in
I'm
our
still
demands.
gonna say no.
Fox dye.
Well, neither of his
Killed
parents were
octopus in the
Russian.
arms
I guess
tech
he was
desert,
only born in
so
Russia.
It's true that it affects older people first.
He's Russian in
Mantis
spirit.
might not have been affected because he wore a mask.
Wolf wasn't infected either. Perhaps due to those tranquilizers she always took.
Something to do with amphetamine and adrenaline levels in the blood. They deployed a product still in development into live combat. No surprise it was unreliable. They must have been desperate.
In any case, have you heard from your friend Colonel Sergei Galukovich at Spetsnaz yet?
He still has doubts about the ability of
What a
Metal
deranged
Gear.
sentence.
He said we can talk after Metal Gear's test launch is successful.
He's a very prudent man.
There's nothing to worry about. The Colonel wants Metal Gear and a new nuclear weapon so bad he can taste it. If Russia wants to regain its position as a military superpower, they need to reinforce their nuclear arsenal. They need a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. Metal Gear will allow them to gain first strike capability over the rest of the world.
Their regular army is in shambles, and they think they can restore their country's military power with nuclear weapons? That Galukovich, he's no warrior. He's a politician.
Maybe so, but he's the one who gave us the Hind and most of our other heavy firepower.
He's got over 1,000 soldiers under his command. If we joined forces, we could put up quite a resistance here. Since Mantis died, the Genome Soldiers' brainwashing has started to wear off. I'm worried about the men's morale. An alliance with the Russians would boost that as well.
What are you saying?
We're not going anywhere. We're going to dig in here.
Done.
It's going to be a long war.
We could still escape.
We have the new nuclear power, and we're going to ally with Galukovich's forces.
Are you going to fight the whole world?
And what's wrong with that? Fighting the whole world? From here, we can launch a nuclear warhead at any target on this planet. A nuclear warhead invisible to radar and totally immune to interception. And on top of that, this base is full of spare nuclear warheads. Once we get the DNA and the money, the world will be ours.
But boss, what about your promise to Colonel Galukovich?
I have no interest in the revival of Mother Russia.
You're not thinking of reviving Big Boss's dream.
From today, you can call this place Outer Heaven.
Big Boss's dream.
Boss, you're not worried about the PAL being overridden? If the code is entered again, it'll be deactivated.
No need to worry. The DARPA chief and the Arms Tech president are both dead.
Does Snake know how the override system works?
You interrogated him, don't you know?
He didn't have any keys on him.
Good. Then no one can stop Metal Gear now.
By the way, what should we do with that woman? Want me to kill her?
Let her live.
He seemed a
She's
little too
Campbell's
excited
niece,
about
and
that.
Snake cares for her. We'll keep her as our ace in the hole.
Meryl, she's alive.
Snake, I found Baker's top secret files.
Great job.
How's it going there?
They've finished inputting the PAL codes. So, how do we deactivate them?
Okay, you see, the override system that the President was talking about, it can also be used to input the detonation codes. You see, if you insert the keys when the warhead is active, you deactivate it. And if you insert them when it's inactive, it becomes activated. And you can only use the keys once.
Only once, huh?
You need the keys for input. 3 of them.
But I only have the one. Where are the others?
Hold on a minute. You see, that's the trick. You already have all 3 keys.
What are you talking about?
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes, it's a material that
Good drink.
changes shape at different temperatures. The key is made out of it.
This card key?
Yeah. The card key changes shape at different temperatures.
So this key is actually 3 keys in one. Clever.
This game
This
is
is when-
incredible.
This is when they realized they needed to shorten the game by approximately the requirement, the
I see.
the time it takes to get 2 keys.
No, my brother. This is the time when they realized they wanted to extend the length of the game by the time it would take to get 2 keys.
There should be a symbol on each screen. Each symbol corresponds to a different key. You input the keys in order from left to right. The left one's for the room temperature key. See the symbol? Next to that goes the low temperature key. The one on the right is the high temperature key.
Okay, I got it. First, I change the shape of the card, and then I input them in order, right?
That's right. All you do is insert the card keys. After you insert the key into the module, a hard disk reads the information contained on it. Once you've finished with all 3 terminals, the code input process is complete. But here's the thing. You can only use the key 3 times. It's an emergency system, and it's only meant to be used once.
The world is riding on that key, Snake.
The key being like weirdly high def and everything else being much lower resolution was pretty good.
Who's that?
Just incredible stuff. No notes.
The key fell in the drainage ditch.
Snake. This is bulletproof glass. There's no
Thanks,
way
we hadn't
in
noticed.
I'll enjoy watching you die.
Snake, you've got to get that key.
The railgun just popping in because Rex had deloaded was pretty good. Shot. This is why you gotta keep a better hold of your one-of-a-kind keys. You can't just go dropping them into a drainage ditch.
Anne and Will.
What do bandages do in this game?
Are they not healing?
I guess the bleed effect is just kind of rare in this one.
Hmm.
It's a lot more prevalent in Metal Gear Solid 3. That game has like a pretty robust injury system. Anytime you get into a firefight, you'll have to patch yourself up.
So while we have a little bit of downtime, what else y'all been playing besides the games that we're going to talk about on future episodes of the podcast?
No, surprisingly, not much.
Yeah. I don't think it, like I know last episode I talked about Final Fantasy 16, but I haven't played any other game other than more Helldivers and Fortnite.
Did you finally finish 16?
Nope, not yet. Still have to do the final boss fight. I'm getting close. I mean, I'm at the final boss fight, so I just am there. Pretty good game though. I have a good bit of criticism. But pretty good.
It's good. I just hate it.
There are
It's
just
good, but the stuff I dislike is very bad.
some, yeah, like the side missions, they suck. Even the ones where you get like pretty decent upgrades suck to do because they're just boring.
Don't remember the trick to this. I'm gonna call and ask.
The less you maneuver a remote control.
Alright, well that was useless.
You lost the card key? Hurry up and find it. They've already entered the detonation code. The only way to stop that launch is to lock the system by re-inputting the...
Ah, Mine Detector. The rat got it.
I feel like by this point in the game, I was looking up how to do basically everything when I played it the first time.
Mercy for the rat. It'll sit still. The Totally Biased Media Podcast does not condone animal abuse.
Except for rats.
Unless, of course, they stole your PAL card. But this is life or death stuff. Life for me, death for the rat. Like 90% sure I saw someone walking around up here on the radar. That might have been the guys inside of the control room. Did I miss something? I don't know if a cutscene just didn't play for some reason, or...
Should there have been another one when you went back? Like,
Well, I mean, the screen just cut to black for a second. I assume something was supposed to be there. Weird that it said that before the bar was done filling up.
Okay, that takes care
hey,
of that.
most loading bars are just for show. It's fine.
Now, pal number 2, freeze the key.
Oh, it's because there's an area transition at the on those stairs for some reason. I think, yeah. So those pipes over there, those are not in original Metal Gear Solid. They added those in Twin Snakes. You can use those. Like normally you're supposed to head back to the blast furnace and then go to the freezer area where we fought Vulcan Raven. They removed that in Twin
Which
Snakes.
takes a long time.
Yeah. It's not like a long time, but it's like just long enough to be annoying. I think that guy woke up. There we go. Hooray. See, now it's just a little tedious instead of extremely tedious.
What you're looking for in a game, really?
Where'd that guy go? Here? I'm gonna be paranoid until I find him. There. I'm assuming there's some way to cut this off. Help.
Snake,
The key changed shape.
Wow, no one has anything interesting to say to me. They're just like, good luck. Sorry about dying.
They're just like, I don't know, man. Die, I guess.
Wish I had saved. I mean, it won't be too bad. I'll just have to walk back to this room, worst case, but... Actually, I think it saves on room triggers, so I think it'll just start me right before that camera saw me. Not sure. I'm gonna stick with the chaff grenade. They never fail. What do you think the letters stand for? Obviously, W for Frozen.
Yeah.
F for normal temperature.
And Z for zero frozen here.
Z for this is not cold.
Okay, there goes PAL code number 2. Next comes PAL number 3. Warm the key.
He's so smart. Getting out's a lot easier than getting in.
Was there a noise just now?
No noise. Oh, I thought all of those missed.
Definitely a way that I can put the gun up, but I can never remember what it is. Just one drink. So you have that grip meter, and the way that you can increase it is by doing 100 pull-ups.
Ah. Wait, so just from like anywhere you can do them?
It's about Naomi Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I can do a few. They're just kind of tedious.
He's looking into it.
Turn your monitor off.
Okay, it's off.
Can't
No one
see.
else can hear us. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I didn't want the Colonel to hear.
Okay, so what's up?
I've got a good friend in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
He's the one who told me about it. It looks like the DIA recently developed a new type of assassination weapon.
An assassination weapon?
Snake, Have you ever heard of something called fox dye?
No. Fox dye? Liquid and the others were talking about it.
Yeah. It's some kind of virus.
I really like that he says no, and then immediately says, actually, yes.
What are you trying to say?
It's too similar.
What is?
The cause of death. Didn't the Arms Tech president and the DARPA chief, Decoy Octopus, die of something that looked like a heart attack?
Yeah.
Well, apparently fox dye kills its victims by simulating a heart attack.
No. You're telling me that Naomi was behind it?
Snake, try to remember. Did Naomi give you some kind of injection?
The nanomachines.
She was in the best position to have done it.
Nanomachine,
I
son.
don't know what her motive was.
Does the Colonel know?
I'm not sure, but he still hasn't questioned her.
Okay, I'll ask him myself. Colonel, what's new with the Naomi situation?
I just placed Naomi under arrest.
Arrest?
She was sending coded messages toward the Alaskan base. I didn't want to believe it, but she must be working with the terrorists.
Are you sure?
I'm afraid so. She's being interrogated now.
What kind of interrogation?
Well, I'd like to avoid the rough stuff, but we don't even have any sodium pentothal here.
Call me if you find out anything.
So, it's true, isn't it?
Naomi, I can't believe it.
That means the fox dye vaccine must be around somewhere.
Is that all you think about?
But Snake, you might be infected too, you know.
All I can do is leave it up to the Colonel.
I like how Snake's, like, radio team in this game are all either on a nuclear submarine or just at their house. No in between. No one's, like, at a top secret facility. They're either on the submarine that launched Snake into the base, or they are at their home just chilling.
Snake, can you hear me? It's Naomi.
Naomi? What the hell?
Campbell and the others are busy right now. I'm on a different codec.
Naomi, is what the Colonel says true?
Yes, but not everything I said was a lie.
Who are you?
I don't know anything. My parents' face is my name. The name and ID I have now I just bought. But the reason why I study genetics, that was true.
'Cause you want to know yourself, right?
That's right. I want to know where I came from. My age, my race, anything.
Naomi.
I was found in Rhodesia sometime in the 80s. A dirty little orphan.
Rhodesia? What's now known as Zimbabwe?
Yes.
That was the most important
Rhodesia
thing to
was
take
owned
out of
by
that.
England until 1965, and there were lots of Indian laborers around. That's
I think
probably
I would
where
just
got
tell
the
everyone I
skin
was
from,
Zimbabwish and move on.
But I'm not even sure about that.
Naomi, you're too worried about the past. Isn't it enough to understand who you are now?
Understand who I am now? Why should I? No one else tries to understand me. I was alone for so long, until I met my big brother. And him.
Your big brother?
Yes.
Him.
Frank Yeager.
What?
Like the bad guy
He was
from
a young
Powerpuff Girls.
soldier
Exactly.
When he picked me up near the Zambezi River. I was half dead from starvation, and he shared his rations with me. Yes. Frank Yeager. The man who you destroyed was my brother and my only family.
No. Gray Fox.
We survived that hell together, Frank and I. He protected me. He is everything to me. The only proof I have of my existence. Of my existence as an individual.
And he brought you back to America?
No. I was in Mozambique when he came.
Who's he? You mean Big Boss?
Yes. He brought us to this land of freedom. This America. But then he and my brother went back to continue the war. And that's when it happened. You killed my benefactor and sent my brother home a cripple. I vowed revenge and joined Foxhound. I knew it was my best chance to meet you, and I prayed for the day that I would.
So, were your prayers answered?
Yes. I waited 2 long years.
To kill me? Is that all you cared about?
Yes, that's right. 2 years. You were all I thought about for 2 long years. Like some kind of twisted obsession.
Do you still hate me?
Not exactly. I was partly wrong about you.
What about Liquid and the others?
I'll have my revenge on them too.
Naomi, you didn't kill that doctor too, did you? The one that used Gray Fox for his genome experiments.
Dr. Clark? No. That was my brother. Afterward, I covered it up and helped him hide out.
So that ninja, I mean Gray Fox, he's come here to kill me.
I don't think so. I think he just came here to fight you. I wasn't sure before, but now I think I understand. A final battle with you. That's all he lives for. I'm sure of it.
Fox. Naomi, tell me something.
About Foxdie? Foxdie is a type of retrovirus that targets and kills only specific people. First, it infects the macrophages in the victim's body. Foxdie contains smart enzymes, created through protein engineering. They're programmed to
Wish this
respond to
information had
specific
been
genetic patterns in the cells.
like spread out throughout the game more.
DNA.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this game is just so
Once
heavily
cells are
backloaded.
active and using the macrophages, they begin creating TNF epsilon.
Specifically backloaded in like a.
Cytokine.
There's just so many vague things set up early, and then they're just like, okay, so the real explanation behind that is.
Bloodstream to the heart, where they attach to the TNF
Yeah.
receptors in the heart cells.
And then
Metal Gear has kind of like a
comes
weird
heart attack.
The heart cells suffer a shock
Reputation.
from extreme apoptosis.
of being like overly complicated, kind of like Kingdom Hearts. And it's definitely more complicated than Kingdom Hearts. But I do feel like it doesn't really leave you with that many questions until the later games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really feel that Metal Gear Solid 1 raises any questions that it doesn't answer. Or at least nothing like major.
I don't blame you for
Right.
dead, but I can't go yet.
And I don't think
You
Metal Gear Solid
understand
2
what all the
does
major-
either.
Listen, Snake.
But then Metal Gear Solid 3 and 4 have this like big overarching plot that's supposed to encompass the entire franchise. And I think that's where things get kind of weird and confusing.
This operation. I just wanted to let you know that
I'm already confused.
that's not the whole truth.
Huh?
The real thing that I wanted to tell you was, Snake,
Hey! What are you doing?
Snake.
Naomi?
Snake, I can't allow Naomi to make any more unauthorized transmissions.
What?
Naomi's been removed from this operation.
What happened to Naomi? What did she mean when she said that Foxdie was a part of this operation? Colonel, let me talk to her.
I won't. She's under arrest.
Colonel, you double-crossed me.
Snake, there's no time for that. Right now, your job is to stop Metal Gear. Okay, Snake?
It's a weird way to end that. So anyways, I'm gonna save. Can't remember exactly what happens when I put this code in.
Naomi's under arrest.
What the hell is happening over there? What's the Colonel thinking?
Colonel Campbell is... I'm sorry, I can't say anymore. But please believe me, I'm here to help you until the end. Please, Snake, don't give up.
Oh, and since you were asking about here, gotta be somewhere at 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Losing grip.
Get back up here and take a break. It might not be 100 in Twin Snakes. It doesn't matter. It's not very useful in Twin Snakes. I am going to do them all in Metal Gear Solid 2 because it is legitimately useful there. Surprisingly, I just don't think 100 push-ups would be super interesting to show on stream right now. Or did I say push-ups? I meant pull-ups.
Yeah.
PAL code number 3 confirmed. PAL code entry complete. Detonation code activated. Ready for launch.
No! Why? I deactivated it.
Thank you, Snake. Now the detonation code is completed. Nothing can stop Metal Gear now.
Master, what's going on?
You found the key, and even activated the warhead for us too. I really must express my gratitude. Sorry to have involved you in that silly shape memory alloy business.
What are you talking about?
We weren't able to learn the DARPA chief's code. Even with Mantis' psychic powers, he couldn't read his mind. Then Ocelot accidentally killed him during the interrogation. In other words, we weren't able to launch the nuclear device, and we were all getting a little worried. Without the threat of a nuclear strike, our demands would never be met.
What do you mean?
Without the detonation codes, we had to find some other way. That's when I decided you might prove useful, Snake.
What?
Well, for starters, I had Decoy Octopus disguise himself as the DARPA chief. We thought we'd get the info from you, but there was Fox Die.
You mean you had this plan from the beginning? Just to get me to input the detonation code?
You didn't think you made it this far by yourself, did you?
Who the hell are you?
In any case, the launch preparations are complete. Once the world glimpses the power of this weapon, the White House will have no choice but to surrender the Fox Die vaccine to me. Their ace in the hole is useless now.
Ace in the hole?
The Pentagon's plan to use you was already successful in the torture room. Snake, you're the only one who doesn't know. Poor fool.
Who are you anyway?
I'll tell you everything you want to know. If you come to where I am, that is.
Where are you?
Very close by.
Snake, that's not Master Miller.
Campbell, you're too late.
Master Miller's body was just discovered at his home. He's been dead for at least 3 days. I didn't know because my codec link with Master was cut off, but Mei Ling said his transmission signal was coming from inside the base.
So who is it?
Snake, you've been talking to...
Me, dear brother.
Liquid!
He fooled us.
You've
Interesting.
served your purpose. You may die now.
Don't worry, I prepared for this exact situation. I went right over the gas mask.
I prepared for this exact situation.
Now
Immediately take the gun out
we
and shoot
lay
yourself.
down and die. I bet this time if I call, someone will help me.
Snake, your grip has gotten stronger. Looks like your hard work is paying off.
What a fool I was.
Snake, that's bulletproof glass. You can't break it with an ordinary weapon.
Can't you open the security lock here?
I'll try. Just hold on for a minute. I hacked into security. Snake,
Good timing.
I'm opening the door.
He said no ordinary weapon, so I thought maybe an explosive would do it. What do you think he did with his cool jacket?
Snake,
I bet he just left
you
it on the
like
floor
my
somewhere.
sunglasses? Oh, you point a weapon at your own brother?
Why did you disguise yourself as Master?
So I could manipulate you more easily. You performed quite well, I must say. Although the boys at the Pentagon are probably saying the same thing.
It's weird that he calls him Master and not Miller.
Following orders blindly with no questions asked, you've lost your warrior's pride and become nothing more than a pawn, Snake.
What?
Stopping the nuclear launch, rescuing the hostages, it was all just a diversion.
A diversion?
The Pentagon only needed you to come into contact with us. That's what killed the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus.
You don't mean...
That's right. You were sent here to kill us, so they could retrieve Metal Gear undamaged along with bodies of the Genome soldiers. From the beginning, the Pentagon was just using you as a vector to spread Fox Dye.
Fox Dye? It can't be. Are you telling me Naomi was working with the Pentagon?
They thought she was, but it seems that Dr. Naomi Hunter couldn't be controlled so easily.
I don't think I noticed watching this before that he's like glistening, like he's oiled up.
Yeah.
He reported that Dr. Hunter altered Fox Dye's program just before the
Just in a
operation.
couple of spots.
No one knows how or why.
I wonder. Maybe they arrested her so they could find out the answer to that.
No doubt. But I had no idea she was motivated by such petty revenge. We still don't know what changes she made to Fox Dye's program. Oh well, doesn't matter. I've already added the Fox Dye vaccine to my list of White House demands.
There's a vaccine?
There must be, but that woman is the only one who really knows. Anyway, it might prove to be unnecessary.
Yeah? Why's that?
You were successful in coming into contact with all of us, so we must have all been exposed to the virus. It's true that the Arms Tech president and decoy octopus were killed by Fox Dye. But Ocelot, myself, and you...
I just
the
love how much
carrier,
unnecessary
were
stuff is just
apparently
always happening
unaffected.
in this game.
A bug in the virus's programming?
Could be.
Yeah.
In any case, if it doesn't kill you, then I'm not
It's-
worried either.
It's
After all,
something.
Our genetic code is identical.
So it's true. You and I are...
Yes, twins. We're not ordinary twins. We're twins linked by cursed genes. Les enfants terribles. You're fine. You got all of the old man's dominant genes. I got all the flawed, recessive genes. Everything was done so that you would be the greatest of his children. The only reason I exist is so they could create you.
So you're saying I'm the dominant one?
That's right. I'm just the leftovers of what they used to make you. Can you understand what it's like to know that you're garbage since the day you were born? But I'm the one Father chose.
So that's why you're so obsessed with Big Boss. Some warped kind of love.
Ha! Love? It's hate. His choosing me, knowingly, to be the inferior one? For this, I want revenge. You don't even understand this. You who could
His
kill
facial
your
expressions
own
do
real
not
father.
match up with the body language at
You
all.
stole my chance for revenge. Now I'll finish the work that father began. I will surpass him. I will destroy him.
You're just like Naomi.
Well, I'm not like you. Unlike you, I'm proud of the destiny that is encoded into my very genes. You missed your last chance. You'll regret that forever.
Snake! Come! Kneel down and sacrifice yourself to this historic weapon! Consider it an honor, a gift from your brother!
Now!
You shall bear witness to the demon weapon that will drag the world
Into the 21st century!
I know exactly how I'm gonna defeat Metal Gear Rex.
Punch it.
With my most powerful weapon. There's no way it has
A
defenses
gun?
against chaff grenades.
It's moving. But how do I stop it?
And he really thought that was gonna work. I didn't really plan beyond just throwing chaff grenades.
I would try gun.
Nah.
Oh yeah, it has its own like built-in chaff stuff, basically. for sure.
Snake, Rex's armor is impregnable. You can't do any damage with the weapons you've got.
Great advice.
Rex uses the latest advances in compound armor. The only way you can pierce it is with a high-performance heat round.
So what do I do?
Rex's pilot seat operates exactly like a VR system. It's got multiple sensors connected to a high-tech interface used for the controls. It's completely self-enclosed and shut off from the outside environment.
He's not using his naked eyes.
That's right. So if you could somehow destroy the sensors... Do you see that round plate on Rex's left arm?
Yeah, that thing that looks like a shield.
That's a radome. If you can destroy that thing, it won't be able to use its electronic equipment.
So he'll be blinded.
Yeah. Try to hit that radome with a Stinger missile.
So will that stop it?
No. Rex was designed so it can be controlled manually, too.
Oh, great.
The part that looks like a beak is where the pilot seat is. In an emergency, it will open up. Rex's armor is perfect. You can't destroy it.
You told me that already.
But the interior is a different story.
I get it. First I destroy the radome. That will force him to open up the pilot's seat.
Right. If you can shoot a missile into the cockpit, you'll destroy the computer control system.
You intentionally designed it with a weak point?
It's not a weak point. More like a weakness. People and weapons just aren't very appealing without a weakness of some kind. Don't you think?
I guess so. I owe you one, Otacon.
He is not going to get any more contracts.
So, what do you think's happening in fiction during those conversations? Do you think that, like, Snake is, like, jumping around between cover and you're just not controlling it? Or, what's going on there?
That's a good question.
At least in Sly Cooper, they had the narrative courage to make it only happen in points where there wasn't action happening. They knew it was important.
I don't know how I forgot about the radome. For some reason, I was thinking that I just had to wait for something to happen. But the first few times that I tried firing the missiles, they were just like falling to the ground for some reason. So I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah. You just needed someone to tell you that's what you were supposed to be doing in the first place.
I just think it says something that the most powerful weapon on the planet was so easily defeated by just man.
I mean,
Hey.
to be fair, it's a long-range missile device. It's not meant to be fighting, like, people.
Damn!
That's fair.
Nice try, Snake!
What? That cyborg ninja.
Hurry! Get away! Gray Fox! A name from long ago. It sounds better than Deep Throat. So it is you.
It sure does.
Terrible Snake. You haven't aged well.
I'll send you back to hell!
wish I had a Metroid arm cannon. He didn't have that last time we saw him.
No.
Why? What do you want from me?
I'm a prisoner of death. Only you can free me.
Fox, stay out of this. What about Naomi? She's hell-bent on taking revenge for you.
Naomi.
You're the only one who can stop her.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because I'm the one who killed her parents. I was young then, and couldn't bring myself to kill her too. I felt so bad that I decided to take her with me. I raised her like she was my own blood, to soothe my guilty conscience. Even
What's
now,
Rex doing in the background?
she thinks of me as her brother. Fox. Outwardly,
Whatever he
we have
wants.
seemed like contented brother and sister. But every
You would think
time
there
I
was someone
looked
out
into
there
her
still
eyes,
fighting it.
I trembled with fear. Tell her for me. Tell her that I was the one who did it. We're just about out of time. Here's a final present from Deep Throat. I'll stop it from moving.
I love when people just go into like just a whole bunch of cartwheels or whatever, backflips.
Does make you harder to shoot, even by machine gun fire coming at you from all sides.
Nice missed, weeb.
Oh no.
In the Middle East, we don't hunt foxes, we hunt jackals. Instead of foxhounds,
We use Royal Harriers! Fox!
how strong is that exoskeleton of yours? Snake, are you just going to sit by and watch him die?
Yes.
A cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal!
That's true. You can look it up online.
He destroyed the radome.
Impressive! You are indeed worthy of the codename Fox. But now you're finished!
Now, fire the stinger!
Fox! Can you really shoot? You'll kill him too!
Guys, I'm gonna do it.
Now,
It's no good. I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it. It's no good. I can't do it. No. I can't do it.
Do you think he can do it?
I can't.
It's no good.
No.
I can't do it.
Do it.
not truly dead. An undying shadow
can't
in a
do it.
world of light. But soon
I don't know why, but it reminds me of Dogen from Psychonauts when you lead him through the minefield.
Oh.
I can't do it. Yes, you can, Dogen. Oh, okay.
Snake! We're not tools of the government or anyone else. Fighting was the only thing I was good at. But at least I always fought for what I believed in. Snake. Farewell.
No.
Fuck.
Foolish man. When death is entreated, the battle is decided.
Liquid, I don't think that made much sense in context.
You see, you can't protect anyone. Not even yourself.
I feel like he's kind of been protecting himself this whole time.
He's like, see, I killed your friend. That means you're basically dead.
Even though you've defeated a bunch of the top generals or whatever, and I've defeated one of your friends, you can't save yourself.
Die!
Snake, you already tried this. You can't beat it in hand-to-hand combat.
There you are!
Time to fight it again.
This time I'm fighting it different. See, I'm aiming for the mouth.
That's its weak point.
Yes, as recently discovered.
I do like how even though this thing is not designed for like, you know, fighting regular people, it can be easily taken out with just a few missiles from one person.
Well, it's also important to remember that not every soldier in the world is Solid Snake.
Well, no.
It's like saying,
like-
you know, none of Lex Luthor's inventions are very good if they can be defeated by one guy.
Hey, one alien.
He's still a guy. I stand for guy rights, and I think that even aliens can be guys.
Not men's right, guys' rights.
Crush you into
Exactly.
I would sometimes call myself a supporter of dudes' rights, but they're on thin ice.
Personally, I think that guys should just be allowed to be dudes. Sometimes.
I think if you're, I think if you think finding a cool stick and carrying around is cool, you shouldn't be shamed for that.
People have been doing
I
that
dropped
for
a transformer.
a long time. We used to just call them staves, you know? If you had
I
a
would just-
staff, that was cool. But nowadays, you send in a stick to be serviced and they laugh at you.
Sleeping late as usual, eh, Snake?
Liquid.
The fact that his back is completely smooth except for his shoulders,
Die as long as you still live.
Too bad.
it looks like he's wearing armor.
Revolution was a failure.
Just because you've destroyed
He got
Metal
implants on the
Gear
wrong side.
doesn't mean I'm done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
The restoration of the era when warriors such as us lived as we should.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When
Is
he
this the
was
final
young
boss fight?
During the Cold War,
Something like
the
that.
world needed men like us.
I really like this whole scene narratively. I do not like it mechanically. Maybe it's better in Twin Stakes, though.
But things are different now. With all the liars and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now
It's pretty much the
spurns
same.
our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict shall breed conflict, new hatreds will arise, and our own biosphere shall steadily expand.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what type of a balance was best.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't that reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie. So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then.
He didn't even give me a chance to answer.
You enjoy all the killing, that's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
I watched your face as you delivered the coup de grace. Oh, it reflected such vitality.
You're wrong.
There is a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way.
Why do you guys think he took Snake's shirt off?
This is going on a very specific website.
That's what the project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was a man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells, with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby.
What?
Dramatically turning around to say Super Baby Method is very good.
And then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6
God,
of
this is
our
incredible.
brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So, it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The Genome Soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic legacy. But unlike us, they carry it digitally. With the completion of the Human Genome Project in the last century, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking to the proverbial killer instinct. Those soldier genes were transplanted using gene therapy into the members of the next generation special forces. That's how they became the Genome Soldiers. That's right. The Genome Soldiers that you've been killing right and left are our brothers with the same genes as ours.
The Genome Soldiers?
They are misshapen creatures, artificially produced from Father's genetic pattern. They are our blood brothers, and they were born of many an ultimate sacrifice.
Sacrifices?
I forgot how egregious, like, just this final cutscene is with Snake's asking questions.
1991.
It's not even the most important lines in half
the
of them.
military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome.
These are actually videos from the Gulf War.
Yes. That's a big reason why this game, and Metal Gear Solid, the original one, didn't get re-released for a long time, and they got pulled off of storefronts for a while.
And radiation from depleted uranium rounds.
Speaking of getting pulled off of
issued by the Pentagon.
digital markets for a weird reason, I got something to talk about once this ends.
Disorder, then chemical or biological weapons.
Not something that I think quite makes a headline on the podcast, but it's
And
interesting.
the anti-sarin injections.
Alright.
They were all
We
just
get
to
it.
cover
You
up
like
the
Final
secret
Fantasy
genetic
VII.
experiments.
So then, the so-called Gulf
Yep,
War
Final
babies
Fantasy
that
VII
have
got
been
taken
reported
off of
by
digital
Gulf War
storefronts.
weapons are-
Yes, they too are our brothers and sisters.
So the genome soldiers mean that the experiments were a success?
Success? Don't be a fool. They're a complete failure. We're on the verge of extinction.
What?
Have you ever heard of the asymmetry theory? Nature tends to favor asymmetry. Those species which have gone extinct.
This part of the
all
script
show
is just
signs of
where
symmetry.
Hideo
The
Kojima was
genome
like, look,
soldiers suffer
I
from the
read
same
a whole
problem,
bunch of books.
Signs of symmetry. So do I, as do you.
Although this actually comes up in Death
That's
Stranding
right.
even.
We are all on the verge of death at the genetic level. We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive. Do you know why?
Because they want to mate with each other.
Because it increases the chances
like
that
it.
shared genes will be transmitted to future generations. Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. That we will help our blood relatives is inscribed in our very genes.
You're telling me that your genes are ordering you to save the genome soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose of passing on their parents' genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me. And then, I'm going to go beyond, in order to break the curse of my heritage. And to do that, first, I will kill you. Look behind you.
Meryl? Is she alive?
I'm not sure. She was alive a few hours ago. Poor girl kept calling your name.
Meryl?
Stupid woman. Falling in love with a man who doesn't even have a name?
I have a name.
No. We have no past, no future. If we did, our fate is nothing but what is determined in the genes we inherited from our father.
Let Meryl go.
As soon as we finished our business, we're almost out of time.
You're talking about Foxdie.
No. It seems now that the Pentagon knows that Metal Gear is destroyed. They've arrived at a decision. They won't even need a BDA. If you want the details, why don't you ask your precious Colonel Campbell?
Like, okay, I will.
Colonel, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm listening.
What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me.
The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS.
What for?
To bomb the place.
What?
Not only that,
Hmm.
B-2 bombers
What does
just
AWACS
lifted off
mean?
from Galena Air Force Base. They're carrying
How is it spelled? I'll look it up.
AWACS.
bombs.
What? Metal Gear is destroyed. Tell the Secretary of Defense.
The Secretary of Defense heard that Naomi double-crossed us, and he's worried about Fox Die. Now that there's no more danger of a nuclear strike,
After we're out of this conversation, I'm gonna go grab a drink.
to cover up the truth of what really happened here.
Airborne warning and control system. It wasn't as fun as I expected.
Don't worry, Snake. I'll stop the nuclear strike. How? I may be only a figurehead here, but I'm still officially in command of this mission. If I issue an order to delay the strike, it'll confuse the chain of command and at least buy you some time. It'll give you a chance to escape.
But Colonel, if you do that...
It's okay, Snake. The truth is, Foxhound was already the subject of an undercover investigation. Merrill was transferred to this base just before the terrorist attack as a way of manipulating me.
Those bastards.
I'm sorry. They forced me to cooperate in exchange for her life. You'd better get out of there, Snake.
Are you sure? It'll be bad for you.
Don't worry. It's the least I can do for you after all the lies.
Colonel.
I'm ordering them to cancel the bombing run. After that, there's no turning back. Huh? What are you doing?
Snake!
Mei Ling, what happened to the Colonel?
I don't believe it!
What happened?
Snake, the Colonel!
Roy Campbell has been relieved of duty. This is the Secretary of Defense, Jim Houseman.
Put the Colonel back on.
Houseman.
He's been placed under arrest.
I don't think Houseman is that weird of a
Secret
name.
information, and for the crime of high treason.
In a Kojima game, it is.
Yes, he is a ridiculous man.
I don't think that Houseman is intentionally a weird name.
Yeah, I know.
I think it just fits in with his bad naming convention.
There won't be a speck of evidence.
But am I gonna make fun of Jim Houseman when there's a guy named Die Hard Man in one of his other games? Or
Well, that's what I
Hot Cold
expect.
Man?
Is a busy man. I have
That actually is there actually someone named that?
Yes.
How do you plan on
Incredible.
explaining a nuclear attack on
We are
the
not
West?
going to play the game with Hot Coldman in it.
Don't worry. We've prepared a convincing cover story. We'll simply say that the terrorists exploded a
We just need
nuclear
more games
device.
with weird names.
Damn it! You'll be murdering everyone here. The scientists, the Genome Army, everyone.
Donald, the DARPA chief, is already dead.
So you didn't mean to kill the DARPA chief after all.
He was my friend.
And you could care less about what happens to everybody else, huh?
Well, if you give me the optic disc, I might consider saving them.
What are you talking about?
Metal Gear's test data. Donald was supposed to bring it back.
I don't have it.
I see. Oh well, that's okay. You two are an embarrassment from the 1970s. Our country's dirty little secret. You can't be allowed to live. You're just the lingering ghosts of a system that is no more. Well, do try to get along in the time you have left before the bomb.
I think my biggest problem with this game is just not enough people have betrayed Snake.
Let's see.
Finish this before the airstrike.
Merrill and Otacon haven't betrayed him yet.
Yet.
Stole everything from me. I shall nullify you and your genes.
How many cutscenes can one game possibly have in a row?
Oh my god.
I thought Final
Metal Gear
Fantasy
Solid
16
4
was
has
ridiculous.
50 minutes straight of cutscenes at the end.
For our final battle.
Jeez.
Do you see
I
this?
just want to go grab a drink.
This will be the time.
You can probably
for
grab a
our
drink now.
Final battle.
Alright,
When
I'll be
death
back.
comes for this girl, this nuclear module shall vanish from this world as well. If you win, you might still be able to save her. You could enjoy one brief moment of love before the end. And if you cross this line, you'll fall.
At this height, it'll kill even you.
I love the "if you cross this line" line. If you cross this line, you'll fall. And by line, I do mean cliff.
Aw, yeah, here we go.
I got this, I got this. I'm really bad at this part.
What's wrong, Snake?
This part definitely looks a lot better than the original, other than the weird shadow thing happening.
Yeah, I think that's from the HD text pack.
Yeah.
Better hurry! It's gone! Is that all you've got?
Welcome.
They're finally fighting.
Got his dog tags. That means that I have his and Vulcan Ravens and no one else's. Maybe it was Sniper Wolf. Here. Oh, Jackson, you weren't here when we fought Vulcan Raven, and it didn't show up on the stream because the issues I was running into. The Vulcan Raven fight, and just a reminder, he was a giant guy with a minigun. It was just me standing still and repeatedly shooting him in the head with the trank gun.
I mean, I think that sounds like a pretty good use of time to me.
I mean, sure. Hit.
You're out of time! You're out of time!
I won.
Hooray! Everything is over now.
That's totally the end of the game. I always love scenes where two people that are evenly matched use all the exact same moves for some reason.
Snake!
After I win a fight.
Meryl. Meryl.
Snake? Is that you?
I honestly couldn't tell you that was Snake in that scene.
He looked really weird.
Yeah.
Meryl, are you okay?
I think it's because his eyes were open more than
you
normal.
okay? Is
Yeah.
that all you can say?
Meryl, you must have been terrible.
It wasn't that bad. I didn't give in to the torture.
Torture?
And things even worse than that. I was fighting too. Just like you.
You're a strong woman.
Fighting them made me feel closer to you. I felt like you were there with me. It gave me the strength to go on.
Jackson ever come back?
I was scared.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Don't say that. But it made me realize something. During all the pain and shame, there was one thing I was sure of. A single hope that I held on to. And that hope kept me alive. Snake, I wanted to see you again.
Meryl.
I don't like those shots of Snake's face. They look really weird. This model is not meant to be seen that close up.
Snake, it's me. It looks like you stopped Rex.
Otacon, good news. Meryl's okay.
All right. You saved her, man. Good job.
I got some bad news, too. We're about to be bombed.
Oh, boy. I guess we're considered
Not
expendable.
the bombs.
Is there a way out of here?
Oh
A way
boy.
Yeah. You can take the loading tunnel to the surface.
I didn't
There's a
mention it
parking garage
since
right next to you. The
I didn't
tunnel
want to
leads from
spoil
there to the
anything, but you
surface.
remember the
The door
torture
in front.
sequence from a couple of
No,
streams ago?
It's a small entrance to the west of that door.
If you
Oh,
give
yeah,
up during
sure.
that,
I
Meryl just
unlocked it.
dies.
Who do you think
And the
you're
ending
talking
is
to?
with Otacon instead.
I'll take care of security along your escape route too.
What are you going to do?
Me? I'll stay here.
Interesting.
Are you crazy?
You ride
I
off into
need
the
a little more
sunset
time
together.
to take care of your escape route. But unlocking the security doors is difficult work. Only I can do it.
Otacon.
Don't worry. I'm staying here. It's my own decision.
Otacon, this is a hardened shelter, but they're going to use a surface-piercing nuclear bomb. It won't hold.
I'm through regretting the past. Life isn't all about loss, you know? Snake, I'm a complete person now. I've found a reason to live.
Good. Don't die on me.
Same to you. Take care of Meryl, okay?
I will.
Okay, I gotta go. I promise I'll do something about your escape route.
Thanks.
Thanks. Oh, that sounds nice.
I believe in you.
Thanks, Snake.
This is not related to Metal Gear at all, but something I just found out is that Arkham Origins was never on
What about him?
PlayStation.
It was on PS3.
Where is Otacon?
Or never on PlayStation 4.
He's fighting right now.
I was about to
With
say,
his own
like, I
self,
have a copy of the
to be the
PS3
man he
edition.
wants to be.
I took it from Jordan.
He's fighting for us too?
Yeah, and I don't want it to be in vain.
Me too. Snake.
Meryl. It started.
I must be heavy.
Looks like we're not gonna have a love scene after all.
Looks that way. Too bad.
Let's get out of here.
Snake, it's freezing outside. You need some clothes.
There's my sneaking suit.
Hurry up! Hurry!
Where did she get that jacket from?
Oh heck yeah. It's the sneaking suit.
I
wish they would've
like the
had
game
this one in
showing
Fortnite.
off the suit like this at the very end when he's been wearing it the whole game.
I wish that this was the one they had for him in Fortnite.
Me too, honestly. I really like the Metal Gear Solid 1 sneaking suit. The sneaking suit in 5 looks similar.
Hurry!
It's not quite the same.
Even though they look the same, I feel like they just weren't gonna go with any big boss skin for Snake.
I mean, I get that. I'm just saying that this is like the only game that has this design for the sneaking suit in it.
Oh no, no key.
Is that just the Twin Snakes thing, or is it like that in the original?
I mean, it's like that in the original.
Shoot him, Snake!
I wasn't aware I could aim in first person.
Does make things a little easier.
It is very floaty. There's no recoil or anything. It's just like you need to move it a little bit to hit them, and it moves like so far from such small inputs. I'm so good at shooters. Am I supposed to be doing something?
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, shoot the barrels.
Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah.
You forget things like this when you haven't played a game in years. I don't even know how long it's been since I played Twin Snakes.
Didn't you play it when there was a review on the podcast for it?
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Like 2 years.
2 years. That's a while.
We'll never make it. Snake, clear a path.
Turning radius on this thing is wild.
Very slow. Oh, you meant the Jeep.
Yeah.
Not yet, Snake! It's not over yet! Liquid!
This part should be like, he's like, it's not over yet, Snake. And he starts driving towards you, and just a hail of bullets immediately kill him and destroy the car. I hate that feeling of getting shot with the high-powered machine gun and then going, ah, and being fine.
We gotta understand, he's got all the recessive soldier genes. So. It turns out dying to
Vulnerability.
bullets is a dominant gene. I also love him dodging the bullets by leaning to the left. Or the right, I guess.
Now you can only shoot me in the side.
Everyone knows that a bullet to the side is not fatal. No matter how many of them there are.
Look, Snake, daylight!
Now you know that wasn't in the original game. The Matrix was the best thing that happened to Twin Snakes.
Meryl, are you okay? Damn.
I don't know how he missed that badly from so close. Like, I understand he's injured, but also he's really close.
He's like dying injured though.
Snake!
Snake!
Gonna miss here somehow. Oh, nah, he's just gonna die.
Fox? Die.
I liked Snake's line when he killed him the first time better. Oh yeah, after we destroyed the Hind D, Solid Snake goes like, I'll see you in hell, Liquid, and then the Hind D explodes, and he's like, at least that takes care of the cremation.
Incredible. Hmm.
If he's dead, that means...
Don't say it, Snake.
What happened to the air raid? No stealth bombers in sight.
Snake, can you hear me?
Colonel!
Are you okay?
Colonel, what happened?
The Secretary of Defense has been arrested. Early retirement.
Arrested?
I was able to get into contact with the President. Metal Gear, the training exercise, all of it. It was all the Secretary of Defense acting alone.
Acting alone? What happened to the air raid and the nuclear strike?
The orders were rescinded. The F-117s and the B-2 bombers have returned to the base. Once again, I have complete authority over this operation.
I see.
Washington isn't stupid enough to use nukes to cover up a few secrets.
I wonder about that.
In any case, the danger's over. Thanks, Snake.
Wow, we didn't need to start this stream early.
You can rest easy. Meryl's fine.
Really? Thanks. Thank you, Snake.
Gonna be right on time.
Snake, I'm sorry I kept a lot of things from you.
It's okay, Colonel.
Snake, I'm not a colonel.
Oh, that's right.
I've got a present for you. There's a snowmobile close to you. Mei Ling saw it on the satellite photos. This time of year, the glaciers are pretty calm. You should be able to ride right out of there. I'll bet the boys at the DIA and the NSA never expected you to come home alive.
Me neither. I'd better not show my face around there.
No danger of that. You two officially died after your Jeep sank into the ocean.
That's not too far from the truth.
There's also a helicopter waiting for you at the Fox Islands.
Dr. Hal Emmerich should be somewhere on the base. I want someone to bring him in.
I understand. Leave it to me.
Okay. Roy. Are you going to be okay?
Don't worry. I've got an insurance policy. A hard copy of all of Mei Ling's data. As long as I've got that, you, me, and Mei Ling will be fine.
The battery on these nanomachines will run out soon. They won't be able to follow us.
I guess we won't meet again.
Don't worry. I'll pay you a visit sometime.
Really? I'll look forward to that.
Roy, just tell me one thing.
What?
About Fox Die.
Meryl will be fine. She wasn't included in its programming.
What about me? It killed Liquid.
Naomi said she wants to talk to you face to face about that.
How is she?
Don't worry. Mei Ling's with her right now. I'm switching over to Naomi.
Snake, it's me.
Naomi?
I heard about my brother.
Fox, no, Frank wanted to tell you something. He told me to tell you to forget about him and to go on with your own life.
Frankie said that?
Yeah. He also said he'll always love you. Naomi, your brother just saved you, me, and the whole world. He fought on sheer willpower until the very end.
Maybe now he's finally found some peace. My brother was already dying. Ever since he fought with you in Zanzibar land, he's been like a ghost. A ghost looking for a place to die.
Naomi, Liquid died from Fox Die too. What about me? When am I going to go?
That's up to you.
What do you mean?
Everybody dies when their time's up.
Yeah, so when's mine up?
It's up to you how you use the time left to you. Live, Snake. That's all I can say to you. Each person is born with their fate written into their own genetic code, inscribed into their genes. But that's not all there is to life. I finally realized that. I told you before, the reason that I was interested in genes and DNA.
Snake's just like,
Because I wanted to
how
know
long
who
do I have?
was,
And
where
Naomi's
I
just,
came from.
you should probably let Meryl
I
drive.
thought that if I analyzed my DNA, I could find out who I was, who my parents were. And I thought that if I knew that, then I'd know what path I should take in life. But I was wrong. I didn't find anything. I didn't learn anything. Just like with the genome soldiers, you can input all the genetic information, but that doesn't make them into the strongest soldiers. The most we can say about DNA is that its genetic information houses a person's strengths or destiny. You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate, to be ruled by your genes. Humans can choose the type of life they want to live. Snake, whether you've been programmed or not isn't important. The important thing is that you choose life. And then live. Don't you think, Snake? Don't worry. I'm gonna choose life too. Until today, I've always looked for a reason to live. But from now on, I'm going to just live. Genes exist to pass down our hopes and dreams for the future through our children. Living is a link to what will come. All life is tethered to the future. Loving each other.
If they were in a cave, how did she find them through the satellite photos?
Then the world can change. I finally realized it. The true meaning of life. Thank you, Snake.
Look, I found this.
Let's keep it as a reminder.
Of what? A reminder of a successful mission? Or a reminder of the first time we met?
A reminder of how to live.
Huh?
Until today, I've lived only for myself. My survival instinct that tells me not to die. That's all the motive I've had in my life.
That's not just you. That's how everyone is.
I only felt truly alive when I was staring death in the face. I don't know. Maybe it's written into my genes.
What about now? What do your genes say about your future now?
Maybe it's time I live for someone else.
Someone else?
Yeah. Someone like you. Maybe that's the real way to live.
So, where to, Snake?
David. My name is David.
Okay, so where to, Dave?
I think it's time we look for a new path in life.
A new path?
A new purpose.
Will we find it?
We'll find it. I know we'll find it.
Hey, what are those?
Caribou. To the Aleutians, the caribou is a symbol of life. It'll be spring here soon.
For us, too.
Yeah. Spring brings new life to everything. It's a time for hope. I've lived here a long time, but Alaska has never looked more beautiful. The sky, the sea, the caribou, and most of all,
Good old caribou.
Ooh, caribou.
It's nice, isn't it? Being alive.
Come on. Let's
let's enjoy life.
Yeah, so like I said, if you fail the torture sequence, you have Otacon with you in that scene instead. It's got different dialogue, obviously. Rest in peace. Oh, that was the end. What did you think, Jackson?
I liked it. It was weird a lot.
You think that one was weird? That was the most normal one.
I wanted to get weirder.
Yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys Metal Gear Solid 2. Because
Jordan
I
hasn't even
think
played that one, right?
as far as I know, I'm the only one that's played any of the other ones. I don't know. Jordan hasn't said anything in a while.
Sorry, I was muted. I hadn't said anything in a while, but no, I have not played Metal Gear Solid 2.
Guess we'll get to that in the next stream or the one after that. We'll figure it out.
Something.
Sometime between
Yeah.
now and then.
Yep. Well, that does it for another episode of the Totally Biased Media Podcast Twitch stream. If you would like to check out the podcast, you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, it's there. We just put out a new episode about Helldivers. It was a lot of fun. We also talked about what was going on with all this weirdness at Xbox and the modern consoles in general. So you should check it out. If you want to reach out to us on our socials, we'd love some suggestions for what we talk about on the podcast or what we stream and such. You can find us on Instagram at TBMcast, Twitter. Instagram at Totally Biased Media, Twitter at TBMcast. No, I have it all backwards. Jeez, it's on the screen, people.
Twitter is TBMcast.
Just go to the... Okay. Yep. Yep. Reach out to us on our socials if you have suggestions for what we stream or what we talk about on the podcast. We have a lot of big stuff coming up. We don't know what our next episode's going to be, but we do know we're going to have an episode coming down the road here soon for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So if you have any strong opinions about the game, as everyone seems to, you can send them to any of our socials, and we'd love to read them on the podcast. So, for the Totally Biased Media Podcast Twitch stream, I've been Jordan. Walk up.
We need to finish the credits so we can see what my ranking was.
Oh, okay.
But you said that you had... I think both of you mentioned things that you wanted to talk about after a cutscene, and then we didn't get around to, so... You can fill a couple of minutes with that.
Yeah, I was going to talk about this new game, Balatro, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it is a roguelike poker game. So it's a deck builder, but the deck of cards you are building is like a normal 52 card deck of cards.
Can you have extra duplicates or?
You have jokers, and the effects that the jokers have on it can change wildly. So like you could have a joker that changes everything to face cards, or you could have a joker that significantly increases the amount of points you score on a pair, or when you're using clubs versus hearts or whatever. It's got like all sorts of wild stuff. People are really loving it. It's like a 99% like approval or whatever the Steam thing is.
Yeah.
But it has been delisted from certain digital marketplaces in certain countries for gambling. When two things. One, the entire point of the game is that it's not gambling. It's the fact that you are taking the randomness and like the stakes out of poker. And two, it has been delisted when games like 2K and FIFA are not, when they are literally gambling. So
Well, not
it's
even
very
those.
very weird situation.
There are games where you actually like Fallout New Vegas, where you straight up go to a casino and like actually
Well, but
engage
it's
in
not.
gambling.
Yeah. At least with those, it's only with like money in the game. With like FIFA and 2K and stuff, you spend like real money on effectively packs of cards. uh, yeah, it's
But
a
this
mess.
poker game doesn't use real money, right? I mean,
Nope, not at all. You pay $15 for the game once. So,
very strange.
yeah. So, weird situation. It looks very cool though. Like it looks right up my alley. I do love a good roguelike and I do love a good deck builder. I don't know a lot about poker though, so that might be my undoing. But I also think a lot of the game is kind of meant to be like turning poker on its head anyways.
Otacon is a registered trademark of Otacorp, Baltimore, Maryland.
Very special thing, Shigeru Miyamoto, Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo published this.
Right.
Silicon Knights developed it. Or I guess Konami published it. I don't know exactly how it works. I know Nintendo like funded.
Right.
My ranking isn't going to be very good. I just want to see what it is.
You mustn't allow yourself to be chained to fate.
Oh, I forgot
Dog.
Ruled by your genes.
Metal Gear Solid is my favorite anti-eugenics game.
Snake.
They sure do a lot of eugenics to be against it.
The important thing is
Well, only the bad guys engage in eugenics.
Yeah.
And then live.
Yes, sir. The entire unit was wiped out. Yes. Yes, sir. Thanks to the vaccine. Yes, those two are still alive. The vector? Yes, sir. Fox Die should become activated soon. Right on schedule. Yes, sir. I recovered all of Rex's dummy warhead data. No, there are no other records. They've all been deleted from the base's computer. No, sir. My cover is intact. Nobody knows who I really am. Yes, the DARPA chief knew my identity, but he's been disposed of. Yes, yes, Liquid is dead. The inferior one was the winner after all. That's right. Until the very end, Liquid thought he was the inferior one. Of course, the other one thinks so too. Yes, sir. I agree completely. It takes a well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world.
So I'm guessing from this that Big Boss is still alive.
Yes, sir. No, sir. No one knows that you were the third one. Solidus.
Oh, never mind.
What should I do about the woman?
Another more evil Snake.
I understand. The surveillance will continue.
This one's more than evil.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Goodbye, Mr. President.
He's the most evil.
What?
Hyena.
There's a third Snake, and it's the president.
Hell yeah.
There's a third Snake and it's the president. Really sums up the whole series.
I'm so excited to play Metal Gear Solid 2. We got bandana spelled wrong.
Ooh. You got the bandana now.
Oh. I don't know why it said I got the bandana. I've already beaten the game and gotten the bandana before. That's just what you get for beating it with Meryl. If you beat it with Otacon, you get stealth camo, which makes the game much easier. Jackson, was there something you also wanted to talk about, or was that just you saying you needed to get a drink?
No. I found out. I don't know how true it is, but apparently Fire Emblem Fates has about 70 different romance options.
Yeah, that tracks.
I just thought that was funny. It was I found a article comparing the amount of romances in Fire Emblem games to Persona games.
Well, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Totally Biased Media Podcast. If you would like to reach out to us, you can find our socials on the screen. I'm not going to try to go through that mess again. So, again, we have an episode coming up on Final Fantasy Rebirth, so let us know what you're thinking about it as you play it. Yeah, that just about does it. So, for the Totally Biased Media Podcast, I've been Jordan Walkup.
I've been Solid Snake.
And I've been Jackson Walker.
And you just felt the bias.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.